The L3 had mastered invisibility long before most civilizations learned to smelt metal. For over 4,000 cycles, their ships bent light, radiation, and energy fields around themselves so perfectly that no known sensor array could detect them. Entire star systems had lived, risen, and fallen beneath their unseen gaze, never once knowing they were observed. Commander Threxel stood calmly on the bridge of the cloaked observation vessel, its vast hull hovering silently above Earth's atmosphere. Below them, the blue planet rotated peacefully, unaware of the ancient intelligence watching every movement. "Primitive but promising," Threxel said, his voice translated into smooth galactic standard. "The humans have avoided total self-annihilation longer than projections suggested." His science officer, Larissa, adjusted her crystalline console. "Their technology is crude. Chemical propulsion, early quantum communications, inefficient energy systems. They pose no threat." "Of course not," Threxel replied. "They can barely see beyond their own moon. Our presence is mathematically impossible for them to detect." The L3 mission was simple: observe. Humanity was classified as a volatile developing species, capable of brilliance or extinction. The Council wanted data, nothing more. Yet something unsettled Larissa. "Commander," she said carefully, "there are irregular electromagnetic fluctuations below. Subtle but consistent." Threxel waved a dismissive limb. "Atmospheric noise. Humans flood their skies with transmissions. Ignore it." The ship remained motionless, invisible, perfect. What the L3 failed to understand was this. Humans had not evolved on a gentle world. They came from a planet where predators hid in tall grass, where silence meant danger, and where survival depended not on seeing threats, but sensing their absence. At a military monitoring station in the Rocky Mountains, Staff Sergeant Ethan Cole stared at his screen, frowning. "Sir," he said slowly, "there's something wrong." Colonel Mara Hayes walked over, coffee in hand. "Define wrong." "That's the problem," Cole replied. "There's nothing there. No aircraft. No satellite. No debris. So why are you concerned?" Cole zoomed out the display. "Because atmospheric pressure readings show displacement. Gravity sensors show distortion. And every migratory bird within 50 miles just changed direction." Hayes set her coffee down. "Show me everything." For 6 hours, the anomaly didn't move. It didn't transmit. It didn't appear on cameras. But it affected everything around it. Humans had a saying, one born from long nights and sharp instincts. If the forest goes quiet, something is watching. And above Earth, something was. By morning, the anomaly had drawn the attention of every major defense and research agency on the planet. Infrared showed nothing. Radar returned emptiness. Visual telescopes saw only blue sky. Yet the data told a different story. "It's displacing air," said Dr. Samuel Reeve, a physicist pulled from his lab at MIT. "Minute changes, but consistent. Like something massive pretending it isn't there." Colonel Hayes folded her arms. "You're saying it's invisible." Reeve smiled grimly. "I'm saying it's hiding." Humans had hunted what they couldn't see for tens of thousands of years. They followed bent grass, broken branches, disturbed water. They didn't need proof, only patterns. "They're bending light," Reeve continued, tapping his tablet. "But they can't bend everything. Gravity still exists. Particles still collide. Radiation still gets blocked. So how do we show them?" Hayes asked. Reeve's smile widened. "We paint them." Within hours, a network of ground-based lasers activated across the continent. They fired harmless ultraviolet beams laced with reflective microparticles into the sky. On the L3 ship, alarms screamed. "Commander!" Larissa cried. "We're under attack." "That's impossible." Threxel snapped. "They cannot see us." Slowly, impossibly, the invisible became visible. A faint outline appeared in the sky, first like heat shimmer, then unmistakable. A massive alien structure hung above Earth, its shape traced by clinging particles. News cameras caught it instantly. The world watched as the impossible revealed itself. On the L3 bridge, Threxel felt something his species had not experienced in millennia. Fear. "How did they find us?" he whispered. At the command center, Colonel Hayes authorized a broadcast on every known frequency. A single message. "We see you." Silence followed. Then another message. "Land peacefully or leave." The L3 Council protocols had never accounted for this scenario. First contact was supposed to be controlled, managed, safe. Instead, humans had forced it by refusing to ignore what didn't make sense. Threxel made a decision that would echo across the galaxy. "Prepare to land," he ordered. "Deactivate cloaking." For the first time in recorded history, the invisible observers became the observed. The alien ship descended into the Nevada desert under the gaze of the entire world. When the hatch opened, crystalline beings stepped into the sunlight, their forms refracting color like living prisms. Commander Threxel approached the human delegation, posture rigid with disbelief. "I am Commander Threxel of the Elthery," he said through a translator. "Your species was not meant to detect us." Colonel Hayes met his gaze calmly. "You made a mistake." Threxel tilted his head. "Explain." "You hid from our eyes," she said. "Not from our instincts." Dr. Reeves stepped forward. "You assumed invisibility meant absence. But humans evolved reading disturbance. Displacement. Pattern breaks. Silence where sound should exist." Threxel processed this slowly. "You sensed us without seeing us." "Yes," Hayes replied. "That's how predators survive. And prey." The commander's confidence cracked. "We believed ourselves guardians. Observers guiding lesser species away from destruction." Hayes' voice hardened. "You don't get to decide that for us." A pause hung between them. "If you had come openly," she continued, "you might have found allies. Instead, you spied on us." The Elthery delegation exchanged silent signals. "You are dangerous," Threxel admitted. "Not because of your weapons, but because you notice what others miss." Reeve nodded. "Every action leaves ripples." "You forgot that." Threxel bowed his head slightly, a gesture of respect few Elthery had ever offered. "The Council will be informed," he said. "Humanity has exceeded all threat projections." The report Threxel delivered to the Galactic Council sent shockwaves across hundreds of worlds. Humans had detected an invisible civilization. Not with superior technology, not with psychic abilities, but with instinct sharpened by evolution. The Council revised humanity's classification overnight. Status: unpredictable. Capability: high. Recommendation: engage carefully or not at all. Across Earth, life continued as normal. Humanity had no idea how close it had come to remaining watched forever. They only knew one thing. Something had been hiding, and they had found it. Commander Threxel watched Earth one final time before departure. "A species that hunts shadows," he said quietly, "cannot be underestimated." Somewhere on the planet below, Ethan Cole stared at the now empty sky. The forest was loud again. But humans remembered. And the galaxy would never forget the lesson. Invisibility means nothing to a species that evolved to sense what cannot be seen.